What up, Wolves? Blade Master here, back with some more Total War Rome 2 online action. And I'm fighting Pussy from the AVA clan. And I think he's a viewer of the channel. I believe he told me that he saw one of my videos, but he's a very good player. I'm showing one of the two battles that I fought against him. This is the only one that I saved. I didn't save the other one. I don't know why. But in this one, I've taken Massilia. No, I've taken Cimmeria, and he's taken Massilia. I've brought a lot of Cimmerian heavy archers and pick peltas and a lot of spear troops. Sorry, a lot of skirmish troops because they are Cimmeria's biggest strength. I've also brought a total of 4 horse archers, 2 noble horse archers and 2 Scythian or just steppe horse archers. Now, these noble horse archers should not be confused with Parthia's noble horse archers. These are the nomadic nobles. So they do not have great armor. They have only 40 armor. Compare that to the 880 talent Parthian noble horse archers, and you get a much better deal with them because they have 90 armor. But these units are pretty capable in melee. They have 49 melee attack and 34 weapon damage, which is pretty devastating to enemy skirmish troops. But Massilia, as we know, don't really have great skirmish troops. They've got, decent selection in peltas, but those are not very good units. You need either picked peltas or light peltas just really aren't worth it, in my opinion. So with Massilia, he's brought a lot of Massilian hoplites. He's brought a total of 5 of them. He's brought 4 thorax swordsmen, 4 Massilian cavalry, the light cavalry whom I showcased in my previous video. A couple of Massilian Thurea spears and just 1 Hippeus lancer. Now, I've brought a total of 3 Cimmerian, or is it 4 Cimmerian heavy archers? I think it's 4 Cimmerian heavy archers and a couple of picked peltas. And I'm going to target one of his Massilian hoplites and just focus fire. And I've brought a front line of 4 Cimmerian noble infantry and a couple of hoplites and a couple of militia hoplites as well, and 2 steppe spearmen. And I was pretty excited to use these units because for how cheap they are, they actually have a square formation. As you can see here, they're starting to deploy in square formation. They definitely won't be difference makers in your army, but they can be very useful in holding out enemy units. Now I'm targeting his general, his Massilian hoplites general, and they are starting to lose quite a few men. If Cimmerian heavy archers had quick reload, if they had heavy shot, then they could have been such good units. Here you can see I've put my steppe spearmen on square formation, but they have taken a ton of casualties from that Massilian cavalry. And here his Hippeus lancers are going to form in for what should be a pretty devastating charge. They're going to attack my pick peltas, and this kind of showcases pick peltas' weakness. When you're going to when you're going to bring in cavalry and just tie them down really early on in the game, they won't be any different from other skirmish units. Like, they will lose a lot of men. You can see they've already lost a ton of men to hit this Hippeus lancer. Just one charge from these Hippeus lancers. Meanwhile, my hoplites should be able to last for a long time against his Massilian hoplites. My Cimmerian noble infantry are starting to die pretty quickly to his Massilian hoplites. Let's see how well my general is doing. This is more of a fair fight because it's 1 versus 1. My Massilian hoplites are starting to get the better of them. I've got 1 noble archer which is firing into the backs of these units, and I've got 1 steppe horse archer which is just running away from that Massilian cavalry. Meanwhile, 3 of my Cimmerian heavy archers are firing into this Hippeus lancer, although the decent amount of armor that they have actually helps them somewhat when they're dealing with steppe horse archers. But the lack of armor for these Massilian cavalry means that they're going to die or take a lot of casualties really early on from my heavy archers. And I've got 1 pick peltas here which is trying to fire into these thorax swordsmen who are fighting up against my hoplites. And this militia hoplite would probably start dying very soon, or they'll start routing very soon. But meanwhile, I've got heavy shot on with my noble horse archers, put precision shot, and then I'm getting a rear charging on these Massilian hoplites. Just to start spreading some panic. I probably should have timed this with a war cry. Timing a war cry with a rear charge actually is quite devastating, as you probably would have seen from my Thessalian cavalry video, the one where I fought Roman Ronin with a Macedon pike build. Hippeus lancers getting 86 kills, which is quite good for how terrible a unit I still think they are. But yeah, I mean, they've kind of, more than anything, they've destroyed a unit that could have gotten at least 200 kills in those pick peltas. These ones are doing a lot better. Those 70 kills, they've basically destroyed this thorax swordsman here. And I've got a couple of, 1 noble horse archer over here, and the other noble horse archer, I had to basically I was forced to engage with his Massilian cavalry, and you can see these Massilian cavalry are very, very nice at destroying enemy cavalry. They've already brought these noble horse archers down to half strength. They are starting to lose because I've got another step horse archer all the way at the back, which is firing into this blob, but they are getting a lot of kills on some really expensive and what could be very useful horse archer cavalry for me. But with the other one, I'm just firing into the backs of these thorax swordsmen with heavy shot on. They should be able to get a lot of kills. Pig Peltas so far getting 101 kills. This thorax swordsman, extra thorax swordsman of Pussy is is starting to run after my Cimmerian heavy archers landing. Man, I love that name. So hilarious. Anyways, now that they've got their backs turned to my Cimmerian heavy archers, this is exactly what I was waiting for. I'm going to take great shots onto these thorax swordsmen. Let's try and see how many of them die. I've also timed a war cry in because they're going to get slaughtered by these archers, as you can just see over there. So that's going to create this huge morale penalty. They're going to start wavering very soon. My Cimmerian noble infantry are getting a lot of friendly fire kills from this as well. But they have gotten 87 kills and basically destroyed this. First destroyed his Massilian hoplites, and now they're killing off his Massilian Thuria spears. But the rest of my Cimmerian noble infantry are starting to die pretty quickly. His Massilian hoplites, I think Massilian hoplites are pretty good units. Definitely very cost-effective units, I think. But so are Cimmerian noble infantry, although they are very expensive, so you probably won't be able to field as many of them. But they are very solid units. You can see this Cimmerian noble infantry got 88 kills on Massilian hoplites and hardly suffered many casualties, only took 40 casualties. But the fact that he was able to field more Massilian hoplites really played into him winning this infantry engagement, because you can see he's just brought a ton more and managed to hammer an anvil slowly but steadily. My Pig Peltas here getting 109 kills, basically destroying his thorax swordsman flank, and along with my noble horse archers, who themselves got 109 kills, really helped me destroy that right flank of destroy the Pussy's left flank. They've got only a couple of volleys left in their ammo though, and I think so have my Cimmerian heavy archers. They've only got a couple of volleys left. He's putting a shield wall, but they're going to leave their flanks open to these Cimmerian heavy archers, who are kind of depleted now because some of those thorax swordsmen managed to get some kills on them. My where is my general? Has my general routed? Yeah, I think my general is not routed. He's still got 53 men, got 118 kills on Massilian hoplites. So definitely the quality does play a big role. The difference in quality definitely helped me win those one-on-one engagements against those Massilian hoplites. But he did manage to field a ton more infantry than I did. Here my Pig Peltas are going to engage his hoplites, and they will be able to get a lot. Oh wow, you can see how many kills they are getting, man. What? How are they able to get so many kills? Are you seeing this? What? 187 kills. They're getting as many kills as like a regular melee infantry on some really high value hoplites. So for those of you who keep telling me that Pig Peltas are not worth it for their money, look at this. 199 kills, 200 almost, yeah, they're getting over 200 kills. Of course, these are depleted Massilian hoplites because they've been wounded from all sorts of archer fire and noble horse archer fire and stuff like that, and noble horse archer charges. But you just cannot dispute the fact that Pig Peltas are really good units to bring. And if you like it, this video more than anything, it clearly shows that how best you can remove a Pig Peltas threat. And what happens if you don't counter that threat early on in the game? One of the one Pig Peltas who he sent his Epeius Lancers on died and only contributed like 22 kills, and the one whom he didn't really focus on got 221 kills on the other hand. So it's just brilliant. Like these units, if you leave them long enough, or if you don't kill them off early on in the game, they can be possibly the most deadly unit late game, because they've got great armor. They've got great melee attack. They've got 10 ammunition, which means that even in late game, there's a good chance that they'll have a couple of volleys left. And, their melee attack just makes them just so versatile and so deadly. My Cimmerian noble infantry did okay. All three of them got single experience chevrons against Massilian hoplites and thorax swordsmen. So they're definitely decent units to bring. This one got 135 kills. My general got 147. Noble infantry got 79. The third one got 79. Hoplites obviously didn't do a great job. I did turn on hoplite phalanx, but they were facing up against thorax swordsmen. But still, I kind of expected them to last a bit longer. One of my step spearmen got 25 kills. The other one got 4. Again, you can't really expect anything from them, but I like the fact that they that they have square formation, and I definitely really rate them for such a cheap unit. Cimmeria and heavy archers got a lot of kills. Again, if these units had heavy shot, they would just be like, I think Cimmeria would be just a brilliant faction. I honestly was expecting these units to get heavy shot, considering that they are 600 talents. But I mean, from what other people have told me, these guys slaughter Cretan archers. So in terms of skirmish on skirmish, they're probably the best archer now. And since you can field more than 3 of them, I guess it would be a bit unfair if you gave them heavy shot as well, along with precision shot. Noble horse archers did really well too, but you can see how effective Massilian cavalry can be at destroying enemy cavalry. The horse archer that I was forced to engage his Massilian cavalry with died without contributing nearly as much as my other noble horse archer. But my step horse archers did well too. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.